Now that we have a specific way of starting to write our code with this, when we separate these things into smaller chunks of code and then calling them in, we're going to do the next one here. So we have a create, we have a delete, and I'm also going to read, and I'm going to create the edit or update here. So if you go back to your admin view, we have the I'm zooming a little bit in here. We have a wrong button, different keyboard, click equal, and whenever I fire a function, I just need to pass through the name of this one I'm going to call updateProduct handler, like I did with the add one up and above, and I'm going to pass through the entire product here because we need to make sure whatever people are changing in these here, since this is already in the for loop, we're safe. So whenever people want to change something, it just passes through the actual product that we are changing, not all of the product. It won't change all of them, but only the specific one, because we already have access to the correct one through the for loop. Because our button is also part of the for loop. So here starts, here it ends, somewhere down there, right? So this button already knows the specific ID we're using. And so we're just passing through everything. Good. Here in the while I remember, because I will definitely forget. So when we're calling or destructuring things or functions in, I'm just going to add the update product just immediately. Update product, so I don't forget this later on. It will be blue now because we haven't created it in here. But that's okay for now. We're going to go below our product handler here, and we're going to create one for update product handler. There we go. And it's an async call because we like those, and it's going to take in the product, but we'll give that a second before we do this. I'm zooming in a little bit. So just creating the structure again, I think I always do, to make sure I don't forget a curly bracket or whatever, even though I do. Inside the parentheses here for product handler, because we're passing through a product here, it's going to go, it's 0 arguments, but it got 1. So we need to make sure it accepts the specific one. So product, and instead of using new product, we're going to use the product that already exists, that we already have access to in here. So we already have an ID for this one. Good. Here in the next part, we're just similar to when we did the new product. We're going to create a const here called updateProduct. And like so, but not like this, not like this. Nope, it did too much for me. In here, we're going to manually just type it out to make sure you can see what it is. You can minimize this code if you want to later. But we're just going to do this for each step, just like when we created the set default values for a couple of videos back. So description, price, stock. I hope I'm just making it do it. I hope everything is correctly named. Otherwise, we'll of course get an error. Image, we don't need created by. We don't want to update that again unless you have a specific reason for this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that should be correct. Good. So whenever there's a change, or whenever a user changes something, we are going to store this in updated product. So when you start manipulating with the this one down here, blah blah blah, and so on, we will store this new information that you have. Vue will immediately store it because we're doing two-way binding. But whenever you're done with playing around with whatever you want to change, once we fire update product handler, the actual button, when we click this, it will grab information and then it will start pass this through to our use product, which will then pass it through Science backend, which will then send it to Mongo. Good. So for this last step here is we actually need to fire the update product, which we haven't created yet, which is the one I just added up here, over here, right? Oh, I can't even see it. Update product. So this is just a handler in our admin view. Now we're going to do await and then update product, parentheses, and I'm going to pass through the product underscore ID and updated product. So passing through, making sure the ID is, we're in the loop, and remember, in the for loop, so we already have access to this. The system already knows what ID we're at, but we need to pass through, as a payload, this new information up here. Good, so that's the first part of this. Make sure you save your admin view, and then we'll continue in use product in the next video.